this room would like to see Harry Reid, not the majority leader, just another vote. Well, I'm here today to do something that needs done, and that is to thank you. As Bill said, the polls have not been against, or has been against us for the whole of this campaign. But because of people like you, working your hearts out, because our country is in such bad shape, fiscally and with leadership, or lack thereof, I thank you, and I want you to give yourself one of the biggest round of applause today, right now. As Bill said, I'm just an old farm boy from Armstrong County. That's out in the western part of the state. My wife and I have been married for 44 years. We had 3 biological daughters, and then once those girls were getting pretty well grown, we adopted a family of 4 from the southern tip of Texas. Wow. We raised those children, and that group of 6 daughters and 1 son has given Sandy and I 9 grandchildren thus far. Wow. The youngest of which is less than 1 month old. And when that little fella came into this world, he was $51,000 in debt because of our national debt. I am running for the United States Senate because I want to get deficit spending under control. I want to get this economy roaring again. Yes. And I want to get that national debt paid down so we can turn this country over to our shoulders. As Bill said, I did start my own coal mining business in the mid-'80s. It was from scratch. The only thing Sandy and I owned was a home that we had paid 15 years of mortgage, and we still had 5 years of mortgages left. But I went to my wife and I said, look, I would like to start this mining company. I had the paperwork there where she would sign the house over. And she said, go for it. But she also looked me square in the eye and said, this better work. Well, many decades later, we had turned one company into several and was producing 100,000 tons of coal a month. That was before the war on coal was started by this president and helped along by our United States Senator Bob Casey. But to sum it up, I lived the American dream. I truly did. I lived that dream, and I see that dream in jeopardy for our future generations. And that's why you are here today, and that's why I am running for the United States Senate, and that is why we're going to win on Tuesday. In closing, my opponent, Senator Bob Casey, I'm sure is a fine person. I will not say anything derogatory about him, but I do have a great problem with his voting record in the United States Senate. This is a person that voted for the Affordable Care Act. He was the critical vote. They needed 60, and he was the 60th vote to get the Affordable Care Act passed. He voted for the stimulus, the bailouts, the cash for clunkers, the list goes on and on. But as importantly, Senator Bob Casey has voted 7 times in his 1 term to raise the debt ceiling on our children, $7.5 trillion. Since he has been in office, our national debt has gone up 85%. And not once has he come forward with, here is my plan on how to get deficit spending under control. Here is my plan on how to get this economy roaring again. And here is my plan on how to get the national debt down. That is why I am running, and that is why we will be successful. Now,